I am thankful for headlines. I'm thankful for headlines. Danielle, walk us through this one, please.
All right. Well, we are on an hrbrew.com story about how hiring might have a revival in 2025. So, about roughly 25% of the global workforce, funny enough, is anticipating being laid off in the next 6 months. However, this guy who's an SVP at Manpower US, he said he's heard from candidates and recruiters alike that hiring is not at the pace they'd like to see, but they do think that there's going to be a steady, cautious hiring increase in Q1 into
Mm,
Q2. So curious what you guys think. I've definitely been seeing like a spike in hiring slash preparing for hiring in the new year. So I kind of get this feel, but I can't say I'm the expert in the room because I have two
yeah.
recruiters with me.
Yeah, this is so in my
Yeah.
heart of hearts, I think I could speak on behalf of Joel, myself, and every recruiter out there. I hope to God that recruiting picks up in the new year. I really do. I think that there's going to be some optimism despite whatever your political views are. Hopefully the economy will spike. Hopefully there'll be some stability. Whatever you want to think out there, but we need hiring. We need it to open up. We need to stimulate the economy. We need to focus on jobs here in the States. There are a lot of amazing folks out of work. And but the downside of that too is I do fear that, with technology, and there's a lot of jobs that, in the next couple of years are going to be obsolete and automated by AI and stuff. However, we do need the people to prompt it. We do need the people to run the technology. So anyone out there out of work, be upskilling, get yourself ready for when these jobs open up. When someone asks you, and I ask this as a recruiter, in an empathetic way. I understand you've been out of work for a while. What have you been doing to, stay up to date in your industry? What have you been doing to upskill? I want to hear that you're working on that. I want to hear that you're really trying to, put yourself in a great position to get hired. Joel, what say you?
I'm always optimistic about the future of hiring, and I said the same thing at the beginning of 2024, and it did not go the way I wanted it to go. And I said the same thing at the beginning of 2023, and it didn't happen the way I wanted. So I would love to be behind this Manpower SVP. But just also keep in mind, like Manpower is a huge recruitment agency.
Huge.
They want things to go well, right?
Of course they did. Look, you have to always look who the article is coming from,
And I
and
just
the
I just
research.
noticed I love my recruiter family, I really do, but it's like we cannot be not optimistic about the future, otherwise we're, like, not optimistic about our lives, essentially. So, um, I'm optimistic, I'm excited, but I'm not gonna make a prediction on this one. Um, I just hope it's better than it was at the start of 2023 and 2024, which were just mass layoffs in January, if anybody recalls that. So,
I
the
Mm.
I will I will say as a marketer, like just keeping my finger on the pulse of what jobs are out there, I'm excited by the types of roles that I'm seeing because I'm seeing a lot of companies invest in brand, invest in social media, take, social media and short form video a lot more seriously. I just read someone, Bree Reynolds, who works at Lyft. She does their social at Lyft, and
yeah,
she just posted something about how she's seeing brand influencers that are in house. I mean, those types of roles,
Mm.
plus like the more like dynamic, like community centric kind of growth roles. I love that. I love seeing that. I think it indicates a real shift in how we're thinking about community led growth, marketing led growth.
Right.
And I love to see that that's opening up a bit and that companies are really placing more value on that, whether it's an experiment or it's, a real strategy that they're seeing traction in. I'm not sure, but I think that's something I'm more excited about as I'm looking at like what jobs are out there.
Well, we traditionally see a spike. I mean, if you put we usually see a spike anyway in the new year. Budgets open up, and especially I recruit for marketing, media, and advertising. Budgets open back up, new campaigns happen, clients are shifting between accounts, and there is some general activity there. And also, let's be honest too. I think at this time of year, towards the end of Q4, companies either freeze their budgets, they freeze hiring. I mean, it happens every year, regardless. So if they're not hiring and they're hiring a little bit, there's obviously going to be an increase, ergo a spike. So just think about straight facts like that. So
What do you guys think people could be doing to like prepare for a potential hiring revival?
go get a haircut.
oh, wow. No, look. I think if you're a recruiter and you're out of work, like Adam said, I think really like honing in on your skills, learning new skills, looking at the tools that are out there. I mean, there's so many tools that are out there. So if you're going to get a new TA role, how are you going to go into that organization and make an impact? And have a plan. So I think you could do that. If you're an organization, I think you gotta get on pipelining, connecting with candidates that could be a good fit. I'm obviously huge on content and starting to create that community online. And even just thinking about hiring in the future, one of the things that I'm optimistic about is community. Like I think we're going to see a lot more, especially with niche hiring, a lot more community based and led hiring, where companies, they're going to look to build community with candidates that have already applied, because I think over the last
The
decade,
smart ones, hopefully, yeah.
over the last
Yeah.
decade, everybody's been focused on new, 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 new. I think the focus in the near future is going to be looking at the ATS. Who do we already have in play? Who's already been interested? And how can we start to foster relationships with those people versus just going out and trying to find new people every single time? I
Yeah.
think there's going to be more of a focus on that. And then hopefully Canada experience as well. I think we need to see a resurgence
Yes.
of companies just caring about the people who are applying to their jobs and creating a really, really good experience for them as well.
I hope.
Well, we are
You don't
here.
like getting
for all of it.
ghosted?
Yeah. We're
I
we're
love
here.
it. In my
We're here
dating
for all of
life
it.
and in my job search life.
Oh. Well,
I think
guys,
that
let us know in the chat though. Like, what are your predictions for 2025? I want to know who's out there. If you're in
yes.
TA, HR, what do you think? Good,
Talk.
better 2025? Yes or no? Just say like 2025
And
thumbs up.
And I'd like to hear from some job seekers out there. If anyone out there who's out of work that's tuning in, how do you feel right now? Do you feel optimistic? Are you having some initial conversations? What are you hearing in the market? Let's. I would love for us to be able to do a call-in segment with some folks in the crowd. We could pull them in
Yeah.
eventually in 2025. That'd be fun to pull in somebody like a TikTok live. I don't know if we have the tech to do that. We'll regroup.
Production team, come on.
We'll talk to the folks in the truck outside in a
I'll,
little bit here. But
I
we're all
will say
optimistic. What will you say?
at a high level, I will say ear to the
Oh,
ground, there is some, yeah, I would agree
yeah.
with Sarah. There's an increase in roles. However, I think that there's a lot of people who realize that like the job search and applying through LinkedIn and all these like job sites isn't really doing anything for them.
And
Just
I
because of
also
the volume.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. It's a volume game, and the technology out there right now, people are spraying and praying because they're desperate, and I feel that, and I'm empathetic towards that. But I mean, I'm one job post I put up on LinkedIn to mess around with it. The sheer amount of 100% unqualified folks applying
Of
blows
course,
my mind.
every
It
time.
blows my mind. And I put my recruiter hat on. I'm like, you're just wasting my time. But they're also not managing their own expectations. They're setting
Yeah.
themselves up for failure. Be more focused in your job search. Be more strategic. And really, folks, and I have a post coming out on this, I think, later today or tomorrow. Look at the requirements of a job. If it has like a technical requirement and you don't have that, you are not qualified for it. I hate to say it, but it's true. With the sheer volume of qualified candidates that have those skills, us recruiters are going to focus on those folks first. So really be realistic with your background and experience when you apply, and manage your own expectations. I'm just telling it to you straight up, guys.
Well, look, let's see. So Sarah said, I'm seeing an increase in roles accepted and hiring already. I've been searching since April.
She'll
And
break that one
then,
down. She said she applied to like 18. Like that's a lot of roles.
yeah, no,
1,800
look,
roles.
here's all right. So I run a job search show on TikTok pretty much every day. And I do think that
Shameless.
you got to have the volume of jobs that you apply to a little bit higher, with the caveat they have to your point, be the right jobs. So they have to be jobs you're actually qualified for. And I would not just apply on LinkedIn. You got to go to the company website, apply directly on the website. So I use Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, all these sites. It's basically almost like sourcing for potentially open jobs. And then I'm going to the company website directly and applying.
Yep.
Then, if you want to follow up, figure out who the hiring manager is. The best way to think about this is who is likely going to be my boss. So, whoever your boss is right now, it's probably going to be a similar person to that. And then when
Hmm.
you follow up with them, you don't follow up with a 3-paragraph email talking about how amazing you are
Right.
for the role.
Generated by AI.
You ask them a yes or no question, and this is it. is this position still open? And then that way you just give them a real easy out. Either they're going to say yes, great, conversation
Ooh,
started,
I like
or
that. I like
no.
that.
And then if they say no, then you can just put it off your list and scratch the list. And you want to track all of these jobs. This is a big thing I see people say, oh, I'm tracking it via email. No. Okay. You would never tell a salesperson to track their sales activity via
Spreadsheets,
email.
tools,
Spreadsheet, a tool like Teal, it's free. Get a job tracker. And then that way you
Google
can
Doc,
motivate
whatever.
yourself,
Yeah,
see what you've done each day. Because this is another
fact.
really tough thing, right? It's
Be
tough to get
organized.
rejected over and over, but you have to have a strategy. And then you have to realize that 99% of people will not do anything over and above. So if you can be in that 1% of people, simple follow-up message, simple connection request, that's how you have some strategy behind the job search, and you have to approach it like almost like a sales process. And
Mm.
it sucks because there's a reason that most people don't go into sales. Sales is full of rejection, and sales just sucks. Okay, but that's almost how you have to treat the job
Yep.
search right now. So
Treat it harder than any job you ever had, right?
you got to market yourself with your resume, sell yourself in the interview.
Let's do it. Listen, focus, organize, and get some traction. And something's not working for you, try something different. Switch up your messaging, right? If you keep hammering the same message, same approach, and you think it's working, but it's not working.
And Bennett said, "Do job seekers understand what a job description says?" I would probably assume that a lot of people are not reading job descriptions. They're
They
probably
read the
looking at
title. They read
they
the
look at
title and they just apply.
exactly. Exactly. You know, project manager. I'm a fit. Okay, this is a construction project manager. Yeah, but I do IT project management. Not the same thing. So you
What's
do have
Ben
to read
saying?
the requirements.
What's Sarah saying here? Reach out to me.
Indeed, Glassdoor, well found. Jobot. Is it Jobot or Jobot? I never know.
Job
Jobot.
I
LinkedIn.
think it's Jobbot.
It's Joe
Jobbot.
Bot. I think it's
Jo-
Joe Bot.
Jobot.
By the way,
Direct
Evan,
to the website.
Evan and I drove past their compound on the beach in wherever it was, Santa Monica. And it's awesome. They built an office in the marina. It's pretty damn cool. What's Bennett saying there? Referral into jobs will get seekers further. Yeah, referrals are important too, but you have to also remember it has to be a relevant referral because that employee is putting their reputation on the line. Don't expect
Referrals
when.
will get you a
Yeah,
seat at the table, right? Like should get you to the interview table, but it's not. You're not getting a free
It's not
pass. You got to
guaranteed.
interview against people right now. So all right, we're getting some good
Yeah.
comments there, guys, too, as well.
And also,
What's
I think
Michelle saying there?
it's important to also think about the fact that like when you are going up against other candidates, companies might value different things. I was talking to someone the other day about how they really value like pedigree at one company,
Mm,
but they really value like communication skills at another one. And like just in terms of what they value, you're going to get different results at different
all right.
companies.
All right, we could spend a lot of time here. I mean, Stuart's saying if you have clients, you'll always have a job. If you have clients, you always have a job. Sell yourself by the revenue you may or may have. Yeah, use stats. Throw numbers out there. People want to see results and how you figured it out. So,
I love this last line, though. Come across as a player.
and I love how Vi just drops the email there, right? Numbers. What kind of interesting comments there? I don't read binary. Let's get into it.